Hello, pupils. It's very nice having you again with me. Um, I believe you are expecting the very best, and how are you today? I hope you are fine. I hope you are enjoying your stay at home and making the best of it. I hope you are staying safe also. Okay, so last week we talked about conjunctions. We discussed on conjunctions. We stated the several examples of conjunction, but today we'll be looking at one of the three classes of conjunctions, which is the subordinate conjunctions. So we'll be looking at what we call subordinate conjunctions. Subordinate conjunctions happens to be one of the three classes of conjunction. I mentioned last week that we have subordinate conjunction, we have correlating conjunctions, and the other one. But today, let's see what subordinate conjunctions is. Subordinate conjunctions show a relationship between an independent and a dependent clause. If we talk about clause is also a sentence. Clause also means sentence. So clause is a group of two or more words which include a subject and any necessary predicate. So a clause is also known as a sentence. While the predicate is the part of the sentence or a clause that tells you about the subject. If you recall, I have told you once that subject is the performer of the action. So it tells you about the subject. It tells you something about the subject or the object. So when we talk about subordinate conjunction, I told you it shows the relationship between independent clause and dependent clause. So the relationship can be cause and effect, and contrast also. Now let's go straight to the subdivision of subordinate conjunctions. So it can be divided into 7 classes. Subordinate conjunctions can be divided into 7 classes. The first one is conjunctions of time. For example, we have the after, as soon as, before, until, till, when, whenever, while, now, that. So these are examples of conjunction of time. The next subdivision class of subordinate conjunction is conjunctions of reason. E.g., as, because, less, for, since. Examples listed there. We also have the next class of subordinate conjunction, which is conjunctions of place. I repeat, conjunctions of place, e.g., where, wherever. So this one answers the question of the place. It tells you where and about the place. Let's move on to the next class of subordinating conjunctions. We have conjunctions of purpose. For example, in case, in order that, so that, that. So these are conjunctions of purpose. The next class of subordinating conjunctions we'll be looking at is conjunctions of concession. This one has to do with agreement, conjunction of agreement. So if this doesn't happen, this will not happen. It is conjunction of agreement. We have the next class, conjunctions of consequence. For example, so that, such that. Don't worry, when we start looking at some examples, you will find these subordinating conjunctions in them, and you'll be able to identify them. The next one is conjunctions of conditions. If provided that, unless. So these are conjunctions of condition. So having seen the subdivisions of subordinating conjunctions, we will look at generally the examples of subordinating conjunctions. We have because, since, as, although, though, while, and whereas. Now let's consider some sentences and the subordinating conjunctions that they contain. A variety of them will be seen now, and we'll pinpoint the subordinating conjunctions in them. Now follow me as I go. Here you go. The first one, we have I can stay out until the clock strikes 12. The until there is a subordinating conjunction. I can stay out until the clock strikes 12. So until is the subordinating conjunction in the first one. The second one says he can leave the house as long as he has cleaned his room. As long as is the subordinating conjunction in this sentence. As long as, that is the subordinating conjunction. The third one, says the teacher said that he was amazingly creative. The teacher said that he was amazingly creative. So that is the subordinate conjunction. That is the subordinate conjunction here. And then the next one, we have I drank a glass of water because I was thirsty. Because is the subordinating conjunction. Take note. And then let me give you this assignment. So from your English Inside Out textbook, you go to page 125 to 126. You attend to questions. Exercise 3, you have questions A to J, and also exercise 4, questions A to J. Thank you for your listening ears. So next week we'll look at another class of conjunctions. Bye for now.